I love when I hit the audio, mic's button. I love when I hit times the audio and it doesn't freaking work. All right, guys. So, anyways, for the 9th time, I am gonna react to the 2024 NFL schedule release, which will be in 5 minutes. But of course, they always say 5 minutes, and then it doesn't happen for like another 10, 15 plus minutes or so. So, yeah, looking forward to that wait. But of course, while we wait, we do actually know some of the games as they've been leaked over and revealed the last few days or so. We already know the kickoff game. Of course, the Chiefs are going to host the Ravens, and we know the Chiefs are going to host the Bengals in week 2. So they're going to start off with 2 home games. We already know the first Monday night game, potentially one of 2 Monday night games, depending on if they go back to that setup again, is the Jets at 49ers. We know the first Thursday night game for week 2, which is the Bills at Dolphins. That'll be big for the AFC East. The Cowboys are going to visit the Browns 4 p.m. for week 1. The Steelers are going to visit the Falcons in week 1 as well. I think that's it for week 1. Of course, they're going to do 2 Christmas games on Wednesday, which I think is dumb. Why have a game on Wednesday, for crying out loud? Not really smart. And it sounds like it's going to be week 17, so I'm assuming, like Jaguar Gator 9 says, they'll probably have teams play on Saturday for week 16. Those teams will play on Sunday. Not Wednesday and such. But anyways, the Christmas games for week 17 will be, first off, Chiefs at Steelers, and then it'll be Ravens at Texans. And unfortunately, sounds like they're both going to be exclusive to Netflix, which is bullshit as well. But at least the Ravens are one of them, so I will be able to watch that game with no problem. But Chiefs-Steelers, that could be a problem, which is why you don't do exclusivity in that regard. And there was also the International Series games, of course, Friday, the day after the kickoff game, the first ever game in Brazil between the Packers and Eagles. And then 3 London games. The first one was Jets at Vikings. And then next week would be the Jaguars at Bears. And then next week would be the Jaguars hosting the Patriots. And then later on in November, they'll have the Munich game, which was the Giants at Panthers. I think that was all the games I could think that was revealed. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But now we gotta wait for the schedule to be released. Oh, let me see this. On NFL.com, it says Jets 49ers on Monday Night Football week 1. 2 AFC rivalries in week 2. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Oh yeah, it's talking about the Thursday night game. Bills at Dolphins. Okay, so Bengals at Chiefs is going to be at 4 p.m. Interesting start that'll be for Chiefs, playing potentially 2 Super Bowl contenders if the Bengals get back into their previous shape and all that. But anyways, we still got to wait 2 more minutes to go before 8 p.m. And of course, we're going to have to freaking probably wait even longer, 'cause that's how it always is. They say 8 p.m. but it ends up being way later. Like, if you say 8 p.m., you release it exactly on 8 p.m. And that used to be normal. I remember, God, I've been watching the NFL schedule being released live since 2009, and I remember back then, even when I was looking online like I'm doing right now, they would immediately update at 11. But the last, few years, hell, probably the last, 5+ years, the NFL site has been, terribly slow. Oh my God, it's horrible during the regular season. There are times where games end, and it's still, in the 3rd quarter, believe it or not. I don't know what it is that it's so slow that I have to look up Google or ESPN to get updates. How hard is it? Fix the site, update the shit immediately. It shouldn't be hard. You just do it. Alright, let's see. 7:59, 30 seconds ago before 8. Top 10 games of the 2024 NFL season. Well, let's see what they say, because I'm sure their arguments are going to be dumb. Number 1, Ravens and Steelers. Really? They think Ravens and Steelers is the number 1 game of this year? That happens every year. And I don't think it would be the best game of the year, even though it is the big rivalry. Number 2, Chiefs at 49ers. And yes, we'll have our Super Bowl rematch this year when the Chiefs visit the 49ers. Gee, if only the 49ers won that Super Bowl, maybe they would have hosted the Chiefs in the kickoff game, but of course can't get that. And number 3, of course, Bears versus Packers, even though that rivalry's garbage now. Don't put that up there. 4 is 49ers at Dolphins. That would be very interesting. 40th anniversary of their Super Bowl. It's now 8 p.m. I'm going to check that in a moment. I want to take a look at his top 5. Number 5, Ravens at Chargers, a hardball game, although I don't know if I would call that the 5th best game of the year. Number 6, Bills at Texans. I don't know if I'd put that up there that high. Commanders and Cowboys. Come on, they got destroyed the last year and such. That does not belong in the top 10. Absolutely not. Number 8, Falcons and Vikings. Kirk Cousins going up against his former team, but I still don't think that would be warranted for top 10 game, especially against two teams with losing records. Number 9, Lions at Texans. Could be interesting. Number 10, Eagles at Bengals. I don't know if I call... Some of these games I would not call at all top 10, but some of them would make sense. It's just so weird how they decide all that. Alright, so now we wait. It's now 8:01 for the schedule to be released. I bet if I was watching TV right now on NFL Network, they probably would already reveal it. But I want to watch it on the site like I always do. And then I'll move over the screen, and then we'll go check them out. Because right now you're all still seeing NFL Schedule Release 24 logo. Alright, so let me go refresh again. Let's see how long it'll take tonight. Oh! Well, it looks like they finally released it within a minute. Alright. Well, thank you. Wait. Oh, wow. I have to have NFL Plus to see that. Wow. Unless, maybe, let me check schedule. Oh, nothing yet. It's playing a video, but I don't want to potentially watch it and get spoiled early. So, apparently, if I had NFL Plus, I would probably already see the schedule right now, but nope, not going to use that. That's so stupid. Just release the schedule. All right, let me check NFL schedule release. And, of course. Man, here I was about to say, oh, they actually did it within time, like 1 minute. Good on them. And they had to screw it over for me. Of course. That's how it always got to be. Because I look up league schedule, 2024 week 1, no games available. Man, you really don't want me to praise you, NFL site. I was just about to, too. I was actually going to say, good on you, finally getting it on time. And you do this to me. And it's gone. Alright, so let's see. It's 8:02, 10 seconds away from 8:03. Alright, let me refresh again. And still nothing. I wonder if I looked up, like, Thursday night games. I wonder if it'll show stuff. Yeah, I think it does, but I'm not taking a look at that. I don't want to spoil, because the first Thursday night game... We already know the first Thursday night game, but I don't want to spoil it yet. I want to wait and see, accidentally scrolling down. We know the kickoff game, Ravens at Chiefs. And we know the first Monday night game, Jets at 49ers, and the first Thursday night game, Bills at Dolphins. We don't know the actual first Sunday night game, although that is Ravens-Chiefs, but actually on Thursday. Or maybe we do know, and of course I can't tell because the thing hadn't updated yet. Nope, still says games unavailable. Yeah, I'm not going to take a look at that. Alright, still nothing yet. Let's see the time. And it's now 8:04, so now we're 4 minutes in, and we're still waiting for him to update the damn site. Let me go back to the main page. Alright, let me go refresh the page again. Alright, here we go. It finally updated, so maybe the schedule got released. Let me refresh the page. Nope. Still nothing yet. Alright, still nothing. Let me see the time. 8:05. Let me press this link, see what happens. Watch, we'll probably do NFL Plus again. Yep. Screw you, NFL Plus. I wonder. This is probably not a smart idea what I'm about to do. As I still wait, let me go check something. Okay. Because I was actually, what I was going to do was, I actually went on Playoff Predictors. That site where you can actually pick who you think would win the playoff brackets and all that. Because they, last 2 years I think it was, I went on their thing and calculated who I thought was going to win and such. To see if they had the 2024 schedule out, but not yet. Alright, so now it's, I got a thing on Twitter from Ian Rappaport saying the Sunday night schedule been released, but still nothing yet on here, so let me refresh. Now it's 8:06. Alright, here we go. So finally, I'm not even looking, I'm looking at the tabs because I don't want to be spoiled yet. We finally got the schedule. Alright, here we go. And did the wrong one. Here we go. So let's take a look at the schedule. So of course, week 1, of course, Ravens at Chiefs for Sunday night. I'm not surprised, but I don't know if I would have picked that, but there wasn't really that much other options. Honestly, I might have considered almost the Bengals if they would become good again. And of course, Packers at Eagles, wild card teams for the first game in Brazil. That'll be nice to see. All right, so we get to the Sunday games. Of course, we already know Steelers at Falcons, Cardinals at Bills, Titans at Bears. Oof! The Patriots gotta visit the Bengals to start off with. Oof, that's not good. Ooh! Texans at Colts to start off the year. With the AFC South on line already. That's gonna be big in the rematch from last year's game. Jaguars at Dolphins. That's gonna be interesting. Panthers at Saints. NFC South on the line. Vikings at Giants. And then the 4 p.m. games, Raiders at Chargers. That's happened so many times recently. Broncos at Seahawks in week 1, just like it was 2 years ago. And of course, Cowboys at Browns. Commanders at Buccaneers, and the Sunday night, Rams at Lions, the wild card rematch from last year. Nice start in that regard. So let's see the Monday nighter, and of course, Jets at 49ers, which, I'm not sure about. That's going to have to depend on if Aaron Rodgers, of course, stays healthy and all that, since we kind of got spoiled, unfortunately, with him getting injured last year. Sucks he couldn't play the Packers this year. If the Packers did not finish their season on a high note, that could have happened, but nope. Just had to freaking win out, Packers. Alright, good Sunday night to start off with. Don't know about that Thursday night game. Not the Thursday night, the Sunday night. No, that was a kickoff game I'm a little bit more suspect about. Oh, and the Monday night, too. Monday night was probably the weaker one. But Sunday night was good. Alright, so now let's get to week 2, which we already know the first Thursday night game is going to be Bills at Dolphins. That's going to be big for the division lead on the line. The Bills play the Cardinals. The Jaguars play Dolphins. Easy chance for them to go 1-0, and then chance one of them's going to go 2-0. And then Sunday will be Raiders at Ravens, Chargers at Panthers, Saints at Cowboys. Surprised they didn't put that at 4. Oh my God, the Lions got to play their 2 wild card in their divisional round opponent to start the year at the Buccaneers. Oh boy. Oh my, what a start for the Lions. That's going to be tough, playing their playoff opponents from last year already. Colts at Packers. That could be interesting. Browns at Jaguars. 49ers at Vikings, the Monday night rematch from last year. Seahawks at Patriots. Oof, the Jets got to start off 2 games on the road this year. At the Titans, Giants at Commanders in the 4 p.m. games. Rams at Cardinals. Steelers at Broncos. Damn, Steelers got to start 2 games on the road. Same goes for the Rams. And Bengals at Chiefs, of course. Sunday night, Bears at Texans. Why? I mean, the Bears weren't completely terrible like they were previous years, but why? Put someone else up there with the Texans, for crying out loud. It would probably have been ridiculous for the 2 Sunday night games stuff here, but Bengals Chiefs would have been better, for crying out loud. Not liking that whatsoever. Kind of like the Chargers game last year with the Bears. And Monday night, Falcons at Eagles. Man, imagine how it feels for Kirk Cousins. 3 straight years in week 2 on a night game they have to visit the Eagles. Just on a different team now. I mean, that could be interesting, perhaps. Think I'd probably like that a little bit better right now than Jets 49ers at the moment. Alright, now we get into week 3 where I don't think there's anything we know about yet. Alright, here we go, week 3. So it's Patriots at Jets in week 3, just like last year. Who knows? Maybe? That's right, the Patriots got to play the Bengals and Seahawks. That's going to be tough to start the year. But the Jets, the 49ers and Titans, maybe. I mean, that could be interesting for week 3. And then Giants at Browns on Sunday. Bears at Colts. Oof. Got to play the Texans and Colts back-to-back week. That's going to be tough. Texans at Vikings. Ooh, that could be interesting. Eagles at Saints. That could be interesting if the Chargers come back as they have to face the Steelers. Broncos at Buccaneers. Which I think was week 3 as well when they last played. No, I think it was week 4 in 2016. Packers at Titans, then the 4 p.m. games, Panthers at Raiders, Dolphins at Seahawks, Lions at Cardinals, Ravens at Cowboys. I'm surprised they didn't put that on a Sunday night game. 49ers at Rams, Chiefs at Falcons on Sunday night. Why are they hyping up the Falcons all of a sudden? Yeah, they got Kirk Cousins, so they'll probably do better, but come on, they're not going to be like that good. They're like 2 games already nighttime. They're acting like they're the Jets for crying out loud. No, definitely should not be Chiefs Falcons Sunday night. Ravens Cowboys would have been better. Dolphins Seahawks. Eagles Saints. There's a whole bunch of other options. And of course, 2 Monday night games. Of course, same time, which I hate. So, Monday night Jaguars at Bills. Their London game rematch from last year when the Jaguars had to pull off that comeback, I think it was. And Commanders at Bengals. No. The Commanders were one of the worst teams last year. The Bengals, I think, are going to be up there as one of the best teams with the easier schedule. So, no. That should not be a Monday night game. Alright, so now week 4. Mostly terrible Monday nights so far. Alright, so first night. I'm surprised. First off, they're doing a night game for the Cowboys and Giants after the Cowboys destroy them. I'm surprised they did Thursday night. Because usually NBC would die to have this game for no reason. So Cowboys, Giants, Thursday night. I don't think they've ever played on Thursday night other than like the kickoff game or such. Interesting, although that's not a good Monday night, it's Thursday night matchup. Saints at Falcons, that's going to be big. Bengals at Panthers. Rams at Bears. Vikings at Packers. Jaguars at Texans, division lead on the line potentially. Steelers at Colts, playoff teams potential. Broncos at Jets. Ooh, the Eagles and Buccaneers rematch. That'll be interesting week 4. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Commanders at Cardinals. Patriots at 49ers. Chiefs at Chargers. Browns at Raiders. And Bills at Ravens on Sunday night. The 2 top teams in the AFC last year in terms of the seeding. That will be interesting. That clutch comeback the Bills had to do. Funny enough, last time Bills were at Ravens, that was also in week 4 in 2022, remember? And the Ravens choked their game on that one. And Monday night, and of course, 2 Monday night games. Wow, Titans at Dolphins again on Monday night like last year. Maybe they'll have that clutch comeback the Titans did last year, but I don't know about this. And Seahawks at Lions on Monday night too. I honestly thought this would have been a Monday night game last year, and it wasn't. So, and funny enough, 2022, I think they played in week 4. They played in week 2 last year. So we'll see if that's high-flying offense like it was the last 2 times. All right. So now let's get to week 5. Definitely the best Monday night game so far of the year. All right, Buccaneers at Falcons. Interesting. Man, the fact that the Falcons already 5 weeks in got 3 night games, they're just like hyping up the Falcons so much. I don't think they're going to be like that impressive. My gosh. But that'll be interesting. That's the division lead on the line potentially. And then, of course, we get to our first London games with Jets at Vikings. I'm going to be doing MTWS that day, of course. So, yay. I'm going to have a fun time not seeing that unless they find a way to watch it. Panthers at Bengals. Panthers at Bears. Ravens at Bengals. That'll be big. Bills at Texans. That could be big division matchup right there. Colts at Jaguars. Even though the Colts can't win at Jacksonville anymore. That still will be big with 2 division leaders at the moment, potentially. Dolphins at Patriots. Browns at Commanders. And the 4 p.m. games. Raiders at Broncos. Cardinals at 49ers. Packers at Rams. Playoff teams last year could be interesting. Giants at Seahawks. Cowboys at Steelers on Sunday night. I'm surprised they didn't do this for Fox all the time. Like, they always obsessed with having this game. I'm not sure about that one, because I don't know if the Steelers are good enough to warrant that matchup. But don't think it's that big of a deal. Saints at Chiefs on Monday night. Interesting. Was it like 3 games now I think the Chiefs have for nighttime? Yeah, I think that was 3. Alright, week 6. First night, 49ers at Seahawks. So that's the 3rd time now that the 49ers were at the Seahawks on a Thursday. First night 2 years ago, and then last year on Thanksgiving. Now, here again. Oof, you may have to get off work at that time. That sucks. And then the second London game, the Jaguars at Bears. I'm surprised they did at the Jaguars were the road team the first time, instead of last year was second. Commanders at Ravens. Cardinals at Packers. Texans at Patriots. Buccaneers at Saints. Division lead on line potential. How about this? Team between 2 lopsided teams. Browns at Eagles. Browns all defense. Eagles all offense. That'll be really cool. Colts at Titans. That incredible game they had last year. We'll see how they do. And then the 4 p.m. games. Chargers at Broncos. Steelers at Raiders. That'll be interesting to see. Falcons at Panthers pretty late. I'm surprised they didn't do Lions Cowboys at Sunday night instead of Bengals at Giants. Now, the Giants did play better at the end of the year, but no, this should not be Sunday night. Lions at Cowboys would probably be better, but of course, they're not going to do it since the freaking Cowboys played Sunday night the previous week. Browns Eagles should have probably been up there instead. And Monday night, Bills at Jets once again. I mean, that game was pretty impressive. The Jets showed, at least for that one moment, and a good part of the first half of last year, that they were still competitive even without Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what they do in the rematch. Maybe Josh Allen will completely implode like he did last year. My gosh. All right, so now off to week 7. All right, so week 7 is going to be Broncos at Saints. Of course, Sean Payton going up against his former team, but I don't think that's warranted enough, but okay. And then, of course, the last London game, the Patriots at Jaguars. And then Seahawks at Falcons. Titans at Bills. Bengals at Browns. Texans at Packers. That'll be really cool. Dolphins at Colts. That'll be really cool. Lions at Vikings. Eagles at Giants. In the 4 p.m. games, Raiders at Rams. Panthers at Commanders. Surprised they're doing it this late. Chiefs at 49ers, the Super Bowl rematch. And Sunday night, Jets at Steelers. Really, Jets at Steelers? Why not just do Chiefs 49ers? Super Bowl rematch already. Come on, people. I just don't know about Jets and Steelers. Even if Rodgers comes back and plays good. And Monday night, Ravens at Buccaneers. Interesting, since remember they played on Thursday night 2 years ago, and the Ravens kind of whooped their butt and made Brady look bad. Interesting Monday night option right there. Last Monday night games have been a lot better. The first parts have been terrible. All right, now off to week 8. Vikings at Rams. I don't know about that, because I don't think the Vikings are going to be that good this year. So I don't know about that one. All right, then that'll be big. Ravens at Browns. Titans at Lions. Colts at Texans. That'll be big. Packers at Jaguars. If the Jaguars recover from their terrible end last year, that could be big. Cardinals at Dolphins. Jets at Patriots. Falcons at Buccaneers. That could be big. Bears at Commanders. And then the 4 p.m. games, Saints at Chargers. Bills at Seahawks. That could be big. Eagles at Bengals. That'll be impressive. Panthers at Broncos. Chiefs at Raiders. And Cowboys at 49ers on Sunday night again. Why are they overhyping this? Do you all remember last year when the 49ers whooped their ass 42-10? Like, no, this should not be the Sunday night game. For crying out loud. Chiefs, Bengals, Eagles, Bengals better. Bills, Seahawks better. I would honestly almost say potentially Falcons, Buccaneers could be better. Colts, Texans, maybe. Ravens, Browns. My gosh, no. Not Cowboys, Steelers. And I think Cowboys have now had 3 Sunday night games potentially. And Monday night, Giants at Steelers. Why are they giving the Steelers like the most random dumb night games? Was it like their 3rd one already? My gosh. And no, that should not be the Monday night game. After having so many good Monday night games recently, now you have to do a crap one. Come on. All right, here we go. Week 9, Texans at Jets. Now, of course, remember the Jets utterly obliterated the Texans last year, so I don't know if that should be up there, honestly. Cowboys at Falcons. We're finally into November. Surprised they didn't do that for a late game. Broncos at Ravens. I'm surprised they didn't do this for later on. Dolphins at Bills. That'll be big. Saints at Panthers. Raiders at Bengals. First time they're playing each other since I think their wild card game 3 years ago. That could be interesting. Chargers at Browns. Colts at Vikings. Maybe they'll get revenge from 33-0. Commanders at Giants. Patriots at Titans in the 4 p.m. games. Bears at Cardinals. Lions at Packers. Maybe I should consider that for a night game. Rams at Seahawks. And then Sunday night, Jaguars at Eagles. I mean, the Eagles crushed the Jaguars last time, so not so sure about that one. I think Lions-Packers would have probably been better. And then Monday night, Buccaneers at Chiefs. Ooh, that will be pretty interesting to see. So all the NFC South home teams for the Chiefs are going to be Monday nighters. Pretty odd. All right, off to week 10. As once again, the Bengals are at Ravens on Thursday night, almost to the exact year when they last did it. And then here we go, the Munich game in Germany, as it'll be the Giants at Panthers. And then we continue on with Sunday games, Patriots at Bears, Bills at Colts could be big, Vikings at Jaguars, Broncos at Chiefs, Falcons at Saints, that could be big with the division lead, 49ers at Buccaneers, that could be interesting, Steelers at Commanders, then the 4 p.m. games, Titans at Chargers, Jets at Cardinals, Eagles at Cowboys, of course. And Lions at Texans on Sunday night. That will be interesting. But I'm not fully 100% sure I would put that there on Sunday night. And Monday night, Dolphins at Rams. Interesting. All right, so now on to Week 11. We're getting up close to Thanksgiving, like 3 weeks. So Thursday night for here is Commanders at Eagles. All right. Both games at least were close last year, even though the Commanders were terrible. So I'll at least let that pass because both games were close. Packers at Bears. Jaguars at Lions. That could be interesting. Raiders at Dolphins. Rams at Patriots. Browns at Saints. That could be interesting. Ravens at Steelers. Finally, this late in the year, they're going to have their matchup. Vikings at Titans. Then the 4 p.m. games, Falcons at Broncos. Seahawks at 49ers. Chiefs at Bills. I'm surprised they didn't do this for Sunday night, because that would be really big. Bengals at Chargers. Colts at Jets on Sunday night. I don't know about that one. I think they're really hyped up the Jets probably too much once again. Oh boy, I don't know about that one. And then Monday night, Texans at Cowboys. That'll be interesting. Because remember, the Texans gave the Cowboys a lot of shit 2 years ago when they were one of the worst teams in the league, and they almost pulled off the victory. So we'll see how they do this time around. That probably would have been better for Sunday night as well. All right, here we go now for the next week. Well, we'll see. We got one more week to go before we get to the Thursday night games. We'll see. But anyways, Thursday night, Steelers at Browns. This is like the third time in the last 5 years they played on Thursday night. Remember they played on Thursday night like around this time 5 years ago when Myles Garrett almost killed Mason Rudolph. But that'll still be interesting because both games were competitive. Playoff teams last year. All right, then Chiefs at Panthers. Vikings at Bears. That could be interesting maybe. Titans at Texans. Lions at Colts will be interesting. Patriots at Dolphins. Buccaneers at Giants. Cowboys at Commanders. At least they're not going to wrap up the end of the year for that. Broncos at Raiders for the 4 p.m. games. I'm surprised they didn't do 49ers at Packers for Sunday night. That would be probably big. Cardinals at Seahawks. Eagles at Rams on Sunday night. All right. That game last year was close, and they're both playoff teams last year. And Monday night, Ravens at Chargers, the Harbaugh rematch. Gee, maybe John will go 3-0 again. And the last game last year, remember, in fact, if I remember correctly, I think it was this week too. No, this exact week of last year, week 12, when the Ravens played the Chargers, and that was on Sunday night. And the Chargers just put up a good effort against the Ravens in the end, even though they lose. So we'll see if that could be potentially good. All right, here we go. Now for the Thanksgiving games. I've been warned they're going to be bad, so let's see. Okay, so Bears at Lions. Let's see, the Bears last played in 2021, so I don't know if I would like that so soon. They've played each other. Wait, no. Yeah, it was 2021 they last played the Lions. But at least both their games were close last year. But Giants at Cowboys, no. They were terrible, and they last played in 2022, so no, it should not have been Giants. But the Sunday nighter, Dolphins at Packers. That's interesting. That one I like at least. Although the Packers did play last year, so that's too recent. Dolphins, I don't think the Dolphins played on Thanksgiving since 2011, so that is a long drought, if I'm correct, being ended right there. So that'll be a really big matchup. Yeah, they did have a chance to do Jaguars at Lions, because Jaguars never played on Thanksgiving. That would have been nice to have ended that drought. I think they have the longest drought, too, now. They've never played in their 29-year history. And, of course, the Black Friday game is Raiders at Chiefs. We'll see if the Chiefs implode like they did in that game. All right, then it'll be December games now. Chargers at Falcons. Steelers at Bengals. That could be big. Texans at Jaguars could be big. Cardinals at Vikings. Colts at Patriots for the third year. Seahawks at Jets. Titans at Commanders in the 4 p.m. games. Buccaneers at Panthers. Rams at Saints. Eagles at Ravens. I'm surprised they didn't put that very late. 49ers at Bills on Sunday night. I was actually torn when I looked at the schedule thinking, who should the 49ers play on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, and all that? I was so torn on this one because I think they should, but I wasn't sure if the NFL would consider it and all that. Because it was a tough option, but hell yeah, I'm definitely down with that. And then Monday night, Browns at Broncos. Yeah, maybe the Broncos will obliterate the Browns once again. But don't necessarily have a problem with that one. All right, we still got 5 weeks left. All right, so week 14. Packers at Lions on Thursday night, of course, because they always, that Thursday night game after Thanksgiving, they always play two teams that played on Thanksgiving. Honestly, they probably should have done that for like a better night game and all that. All right, then Jets at Dolphins, which I think was around this time last year they played at Dolphins. Falcons at Vikings. So, of course, Kirk Cousins get his rematch against the Vikings. And then Saints at Giants. Panthers at Eagles. Browns at Steelers, another big one. Raiders at Buccaneers. Jaguars at Titans in the 4 p.m. games. Seahawks at Cardinals. Bills at Rams, that could be big. Bears at 49ers. And then Chargers at Chiefs on Sunday night. You better hope the Chargers show up like they usually do the last few years when they play Mahomes, because Herbert actually had a good record until like the last 2 years against the Chiefs and put up good performances, because otherwise, no, I do not think that'll be a good matchup. And then Bengals at Cowboys on Monday night. That'll be big. All right. So now on to Week 15. As there'll be Rams at 49ers. Division lead on the line potential. That could be good. And then Cowboys at Panthers. I'm surprised they didn't do this later on in the day or at night. Chiefs at Browns. That's going to be sick. Dolphins at Texans. I'm also surprised they didn't do that. That could be sick. Jets at Jaguars. All right. Commanders at Saints. Ravens at Giants very late in the year. Bengals at Titans for the 3rd year in a row. Patriots at Cardinals for 4 p.m. Colts at Broncos. That could be interesting. I'm surprised they did Bills at Lions at 4. I thought they were going to do it much later. Buccaneers at Chargers. Steelers at Eagles. Packers at Seahawks on Sunday night. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure. Bills Lions would have probably been better. I mean, both teams had winning records last year. And funny enough, they both depend on each other to get into the playoffs the last 2 years. So, I guess. And, of course, 2 night games back-to-back near each other, which I absolutely hate. So, Bears at Vikings once again for the 2nd year in a row. Not sure about that. Actually, probably not, because I don't think the Vikings are going to be that good. And Falcons at Raiders for the other one. That's a lot more interesting. Like, if you're going to have 2 Monday night games, can you have one at 7 and the other one at 10? That way I can watch both at a time. I mean, both one after the other. Not this alternating back and forth or something like that. I hated doing that last year when they did 3 times. Don't do that. Have one at 7, one at 10. Make it easier for us. One game and then the other one. It's stupid. And it would help your ratings, too, instead of having to alternate. All right, then Week 16. So, of course. Yep. Wait. Oh, yeah. Yep. I told you guys. Yep, like I told you, they're going to have them play all Saturday, and they're going to have them alternate between the opponents. Wow. So, first night's going to be Browns at Bengals. That'll be interesting. And, of course, next week, these 4 teams are going to play on Wednesday. That's funny, but they swapped it around. So, anyways, Texans at Chiefs. Could be interesting. And Steelers at Ravens. Division matchup. So, of course, that'll be big. All right, then for the Sunday games, it'll be Giants at Falcons, Patriots at Bills, Cardinals at Panthers, Lions at Bears, Titans at Colts, Rams at Jets, Eagles at Commanders in the 4 p.m. games. It's Broncos at Chargers, Vikings at Seahawks, Jaguars at Raiders, 49ers at Dolphins. That'll be big. Sunday night, Buccaneers at Cowboys. I don't know about that one. And Monday night, Saints at Packers. Gee, will the Saints choke away their 17-point lead like they did last year? That'll be interesting. Week 14. Let's see about this really quick before we look at the final 2 weeks about your B-Day or whatever. I guess you're not happy about the Monday Nighter. Alright, here we go. Of course, we already know they're going to start off Week 17 with Chiefs at Steelers and then Ravens at Texans for the Wednesday games. And they're going to have a Thursday night game to wrap that up, as it'll be the Seahawks at Bears. Not sure about that one. Man, that is going to suck so badly that Wednesday, because I'm probably going to, those 2 weeks, because I'm going to have to freaking film both MTW's season finales in Detroit and Glendale. That is not going to be fun 2 days or so, because I'm not going to probably be able to watch much. Alright, Jets at Bills to wrap up. That'll be pretty big. Titans at Jaguars. Packers at Vikings. Raiders at Saints. That could be big. Hey, Carr going up against his former team. Panthers at Buccaneers in the 4 p.m. games. Cowboys at Eagles. And then Sunday night, Dolphins at Browns. That's going to be cool and all that. And Monday night, the last Monday night game. Well, actually, no, because they're going to have a Monday night on Saturday in the first 2 games of Week 18. That's right, but that'll be a huge one. Lions at 49ers. How funny, because usually when the Lions played the 49ers on Monday night, it was always like at the end of the year, like back in the 90s and such. How nostalgic to see that. And, of course, we got the 5 games that we do not know what they're going to play. As Broncos at Bengals, Lions at Cardinals at Rams, Chargers at Patriots, Colts at Giants, and Falcons at Commanders. So Kirk Cousins could play his former team once again in that regard too. These 5 games, I think it was going to be like 2 or 3 of them are going to be on Saturday, and the last 2 are going to be on Sunday. So we'll have to wait at the end of the year to see that. All right, here we go. The final week of the year. What will the divisional round matchups be? I already think I know one of them because I don't think I saw it yet. All right, so here we go. 49ers at Cardinals. Trying to think last time they... Wait. No, they did not play last year. I'm trying to think the last time the 49ers were at Cardinals at the end of the year, but it's not coming to my head, so it must be a while ago. Panthers at Falcons. I think that's been a while. Browns at Ravens. All right, that could be maybe Sunday night, and thank God it's not at the Bengals. It's been, because I remember throughout the 2010s, they spammed that at the end of the year. I hate it so much. Thankfully, it's nice to see something different for once. Commanders at Cowboys. For the 3rd year in a row, they played each other at the end of the year, but at least now it's at the Cowboys for something different. Chiefs at Broncos. Vikings at Lions once again at the end of the year. Can you not do that, please? Bears at Packers once again, 2nd year in a row. They did that at the end of the year. Could you not do that again, please? Jaguars at Colts. That used to be quite a common thing at the end of the year back in the 2010s, but not lately, I don't think, so that's nice to see a little bit of a change. Seahawks at Rams. I don't even remember the last time the Seahawks visited the Rams at the end of the year. Nice to see. Chargers at Raiders. That happened in 2021. So how about that? The Raiders and Chargers play each other in week 1, and they wrap up the end of the year. Bills at Patriots. That used to be spammed a lot into 2010s, and I think this is the newest one recently. Dolphins at Jets. I don't think that was done a lot. Now I don't know if that's been done in a long time. 2008's the only one that comes off the top of my head where it was at the Jets. So, nice to see in that regard. Giants at Eagles. That's way too common, but it's usually at the Giants. And of course, they play each other the last... Yeah, now I think the last 2 years was at it was at the Eagles in 2022, and then last year was at the Giants. So, not really a fan of that. At least it alternated. Bengals at Steelers. It's been a long time, I think, since they've played each other at the end of the year. Saints at Buccaneers. That could be a big one. It's been a long time since they played at the end of the year. And Texans at Titans. That's been a while, too. At least a lot of these division matchups have not happened in a while at the end of the year. So that's nice to see. So right now, it could maybe be Browns, Ravens, maybe Jaguars, Colts, Seahawks, Rams, Dolphins, Jets, maybe. Bengals, Steelers, Saints, Buccaneers could be the potential Sunday night game and all that. Alright, so that's the schedule. So now let's go take a look at the night games again before we take a look at each team and such. So we'll start off with Sunday night, the main one. Of course, Ravens at Chiefs. I expected it, but I'm not sure. I think I would have probably picked the Bengals instead. Rams at Lions, that's good. Bears at Texans, that's not good. Chiefs at Falcons, that's not good. Bills at Ravens, that's awesome. Cowboys at Steelers, I'm not so sure about that. Bengals at Giants, no. Jets at Steelers, don't think that was a good option. Cowboys at 49ers, not a good option. Jaguars at Eagles, I'm not so sure about that one. Lions at Texans, that's good. Colts, Jets, that's another one I'm not so sure about. Eagles at Rams, that's good. Dolphins at Packers on Thanksgiving, that's really good. 49ers at Bills, that's really good. Chargers at Chiefs, that's only going to depend on if the Chargers show up. Otherwise, it won't be good. Packers at Seahawks, I'm not so sure about. Okay, that's the Sunday night game for Week 16. Oh, they have 2 of them. Okay, so Texans at Chiefs, that's okay. Buccaneers, Cowboys, I think is better. Dolphins at Browns to wrap up the Sunday night, that's really good. So it's like a mixed bag. All right, now let's go take a look at the Monday Nighters. All right, so Jets at 49ers, I'm not really a fan of that. Falcons at Eagles, okay. And then Jaguars at Bills, that could maybe work, depending on how the Jaguars do. Commanders at Bengals, no. Titans at Dolphins, I almost want to say that would not work because I don't think the Titans are going to be good, but they did that clutch comeback against the Dolphins, so they got a little bit of a pass in that regard. Seahawks, Lions, that's going to be big. Saints at Chiefs, that could be big. Bills at Jets, that could be big in the rematch. Ravens, Buccaneers, could be good. Oh, I didn't see that. I don't think I saw that. Chargers, wait, Week 7? Let me go back to Week 7. I don't remember seeing Chargers at Cardinals on Monday night. I don't remember seeing that at all. Did I miss Week 7 or something? Or did I miss the Monday night game? Yeah, I saw all that. Oh, Oh, okay, I see. I remember now. I stopped going when it's just showed Ravens Buccaneers. I didn't see this part right here. Yeah, I don't know about that one here. I don't think I like Chargers, Cardinals for Monday night either. No idea how I didn't see that. Alright, so now let's get back to where it was right here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Ravens, Buccaneers, yes. Giants, Steelers, no. Buccaneers at Chiefs, that could be good. Dolphins, Rams, that could be interesting. Texans at Cowboys, that could be interesting. Ravens at Chargers, that's going to depend on the Chargers show up. They got way too many night games, I think, for Chargers. Browns at Broncos could be interesting, maybe. Bengals at Cowboys will be big. Bears at Vikings, no. Falcons, Raiders, better, but I still don't think it's a Monday nighter. Saints at Packers, that's going to be big. And then Lions at 49ers, that will be huge. The NFC Championship rematch. All right, now let's check out the Thursday nights. Bills at Dolphins, that's big. Patriots at Jets. Wow, AFC East, the first two Thursday nights. Oh yeah, most of them they're trying to do for, divisional games, that's right. That's going to depend on how the Jets and Patriots do. Giants at Cowboys at Giants, no. Buccaneers at Falcons, that'll be big. I'm not so sold on 49ers or Seahawks, especially since they got spanked. They spanked them the last two times. Broncos, Saints, I don't think I would have done, but it's tolerable, I guess. Vikings at Rams, not really. Texans at Jets, again, not really. Bengals at Ravens, I'm not so sure about, especially since it happened last year. Commanders at Eagles, I wouldn't say I'll only tolerate because the games were close last year. Otherwise, I would have said no, but I'll tolerate it. Steelers at Browns, like whatever. Raiders at Chiefs, like whatever. Packers at Lions, that could be big if the Lions actually show up at that game when they got smoked last year. Rams at 49ers, that could be big. Browns, Bengals could be big. And finally wrap up with Seahawks at Bears. No idea about that. I don't know why they put that one there. I'm not sold on that one. Alright. So now let's go take a look at the team schedule and rank them. And see what I think how they'll do. So of course, we already know the Chiefs got that. The Chiefs games, even though they're at home, they're gonna have a tough start. Wait, here we go. Oh, that's their preseason. That's still gonna be a tough. Wait, why is it showing? Did they not update it? Why did it go to 2023, not 2024? Yeah, that's gonna be a tough start there. Those first two games are gonna be tough, even if they're at home. I can see them beating the Ravens, but I can see the Bengals maybe still getting it. I mean, they almost did beat them last year despite not having Burrow. So 1-1's possible, maybe even 0-2. But yeah, let's see. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 night games. No surprise, the defending champs trying to repeat. Yeah. Other than the Falcons one, which I'm convinced they would win easily, there's a good possibility. Well, I don't know about good, but maybe a solid possibility that I can see the Chargers the Chiefs starting off 1-3. Because the Chargers almost beat them last year, too. Yes, they were resting their stars, but the Chargers still play competitive against the Chiefs. So that could be potential upset right there. Saints. Those could be potentially tough. The 49ers in the Super Bowl rematch. The Raiders could potentially be tough. Who knows about the Buccaneers. The Bills, that's going to be very tough. Because the Bills have beaten the Chiefs every year in the playoff. regular season recently. It's just the playoffs they can't win. And then that's going to be big at the Browns. That's going to be tough. Yeah, there's a couple tough spots for the Chiefs to repeat. I would not be surprised if they start off 0-2 or 1-3. Alright, now let's go take a look at our Super Bowl runner-up, the 49ers, and see what they have. Alright. So, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they got 6 night games. They hit the maximum. Wow. Alright, so, past it. Funny thing is, I still think they could potentially beat the Jets, even with Rodgers playing. There's a good possibility that 49ers could also start 1-2 as well. Because remember, the Vikings beat them last year. The Rams beat them the one time, even though the rest of starts, but that's a potential 1-2 start. It'll be a lot easier afterwards, the next 3 games, if they have a tough start. That could easily be like 4-2 at the minimum. Then the Chiefs, that could be a tough one. And then the Cowboys, that shouldn't be trouble. Buccaneers could be a challenge. And then you got then you got 2 tough ones coming up at the Packers and then at the Bills. That's good. Those two are easily losable. Yeah, the Dolphins and Lions too, those are losable. The 49ers have like 2 tough stretches, technically 3 in the year. they're going to have a tough season, looks like. They better show up if they want to get back to the championship. All right, so now let's go take a look at our AFC runner-up, the Ravens. I wonder if it loaded up already, too, while we wait for the Ravens site to load up. Yep, there we go. All right, so the Ravens. That can also be a tough start to the year. I could see them maybe starting. Technically, I can actually see the Ravens starting 1-4 potentially, with only the Raiders being the safe bet. They could potentially lose to the Chiefs. They could lose to the Cowboys. They could lose to the Bills. They can lose to the Bengals. That's all possible. Buccaneers, and then the Browns. Man, the Ravens do have a tough start to the year. Then it lightens up a little bit, I think. They got a lot of tough opponents. Yeah, like, there's not a lot of games where the Ravens are going to have a lot of mercy. It's going to be tough for them to defend their title. And I don't think they're going to defend their title right now. I might get into that later on, how I think teams will do. I don't know if I talked about that yet. Oh, wait, no, I think I did. I did my draft reactions in day 2. But couldn't upload my tier list. It wouldn't load up for some reason. Alright, so now let's go see our NFC runner-up Lions. And yeah, again, 4th. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a tough start for the Lions, too. I mean, I could see a potential scenario that the Lions start off 1-5, with the only win being the Cardinals. Because the Rams almost beat them last year. Buccaneers almost beat them last year. Seahawks have beaten them both times. That's going to be a tough one. Cowboys beat them last year, even though the Lions should have gotten it. The Lions, the Vikings put up a good fight last year, even though I think they're going to be terrible. That could be a challenge still, potentially. And then you got the Packers and Texans. That's going to be tough. And there's not a lot of mercy coming up, too, for the Lions. I didn't even look up how many night games the Ravens had. Let's see for the Lions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, at least it's nice to see them get some respect, because usually teams like the Lions, they would, on purpose, never give them a lot of games, even if they're good. Alright. Yeah, the top 4 teams last year in the playoffs, they have a tough start to the year, surprisingly. Alright, now we'll take a look at the division losers. The Texans starting off with. They're going to have a tough time, too, because... Okay, that's preseason as well. And, of course, why are you showing 2023 again? I don't want season tickets, Texans, so go screw off. Check that out. There we go, finally. Now, the thing about the Texans is, their toughest part, I think, is going to be the division matchups. They beat the Colts on the road last year, but they split last year, and both teams could be challenging. I could think it could go either way. The Jaguars, they split also with the Jaguars last year, so the tough part of the schedule is going to be the Colts and Jaguars to start off with. The Bills, surprisingly, I don't think the Bills are going to be that big of an issue for the Texans. It's going to be more of the Jaguars and the Colts. If they can win those games, then I think the Texans are going to have a really strong start to the year. And then, of course, you have a little bit of a tough schedule. And they got a bunch of tough games coming up afterwards. My God. At the Packers, that's going to be tough. Hosting the Colts, that could be a challenge. Thursday night, the Jets, that could be tough potentially. Sunday night, hosting the Lions, that's going to be big. Monday night, the Cowboys, that could potentially be 5 losses right there. But hey, that's what happens when you're the last place division winner. You're going to have a tough time in that regard. That's going to be tough, too, to wrap it up. Hosting the Ravens and at the Texans. Hosting the Dolphins, too. Oof. But I think they have a good start at the year. It's just going to be tough later on. Alright, then the next division run-up was the Packers. I'm going in order when they lost. They had, I think it was like 5 night games again. Packers, of course, are going to probably have 5. 1... no, that's not a night game. Nothing really for a while. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God! 4 straight night games near the end of the year, just like the Steelers several years ago. My gosh! All right, now the Packers, on the other hand, because I'm so high on them, they have a really good start of the year. I can honestly argue they can win all these games so far. So off 10-0. Yeah, I'm really high on the Packers. I can think they can win most of these games already. Like the Lions one, it could probably be the first tough one. Yeah, I can see the Packers having a really, really strong record this year. I'm that high on them, like I was with the Dolphins last year. But hey, Dolphins kind of disappointed at the end of the year, so we'll see. Maybe the Packers will choke it away. But I can see that schedule being very easy for them to make a good run at the number 1 seed. All right, then next up was the Buccaneers. Let's see how many night games they had. They had a lot of them. Honestly, I think they got more night games than I thought I would have given them. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 night games. That's quite a lot for a 9-8 team. But hey, that shows how impressive they were. Okay. The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are another team other than until the Chiefs come up. I can see them potentially winning all these games too. The Lions will be tough though. The Falcons and Saints are going to be tough because they both fought out for the division lead last year. The Ravens are going to be tough. But I can see them potentially winning all those games. Yeah, they got a much easier schedule. Yeah, I could see the Buccaneers having a good record if they show up this year. But they're going to have a tough thing to fill when they're 9-8 from last year. We'll see if they meet the hype that they did last year. And then next up was the Bills. Here we go. So let's see for the Bills. 2, 3. They got 3. God, like 4 of their first 6 games are night games. 5. Okay, so the Bills, I could see them potentially winning most of these games. I think they're in the realm of possibility. Dolphins will be tough, but I think they can win that still. Ravens could be tough, but I could see them win that. Texans could be tough, I could see them win that. Jets, even if Rodgers doesn't play, I think they could still potentially win that, but that's going to depend on if Allen doesn't completely implode like he did last year. Now, later on in the year, it gets a little bit tougher. They got a host of Dolphins. I could see them win that. The Colts could be tough. Chiefs, they should win that because they always win the regular season now, but you never know. All their games are like down to the wire. 49ers is going to be tough. Rams could be tough. Lions are going to be tough. And then they wrap up the year with should be 2 easy opponents. Actually, no, 3 of their last games should be easy. I think they could probably beat the Jets easily at home. So, yeah, if they can get past like this gauntlet with a strong start, they could be a good contender for a number 1 seed. And we'll see because they keep all saying, like I've said before, like since 2019, they've made the playoffs 5 years in a row. 1 year they get like 10 wins. Then the next year they get 13. This year they should get 13, so we'll see how they do. All right, now for the wild card runner-up, starting off with the Browns. I don't think I saw the Browns have that many night games that I think they deserve. So let's see. Oh my god, they really got shafted. 4 night games, but 3 of them are Sunday night. No, 3 of them are 2 of them are Thursday night. One's a Monday nighter. Oh, that's right. I never ranked. I didn't do what I did usually years where I ranked their night games of what I would have done. Forgot to do that. But anyways, the Browns, it's really going to come down to their quarterback and Watson, how they play. Because if they play good, I could easily see the Browns win all 6 of these games. And keep going on. I could see them winning all these. Coming up, I still could see them winning all these. Broncos one, I think, will be the first, like, actual tough one. Chiefs will be tough. At the Bengals, that could be tough. The Dolphins could be tough. At the Ravens can be tough. Like, they have a tough end of the year. But if they have a good start to the year, they can have a potential number 1 seed contender. Because I'm really high on that Browns defense. It's just their offense needs to show up. Still think they probably should have kept Flacco for this year. But nope, they had to let the Colts get him. Alright, the next up was... Who was the next one to lose again? No, when the Rams. Oh, who was it that lost next? Who was it? Oh, the Dolphins. Alright, let's see what the Dolphins are. So let's see. Dolphins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, alright, so the Dolphins, I could still see them potentially winning these first 5 games. Although the Bills and potentially Seahawks could be tough. Colts are going to be tough. At the Bills, that's going to be really tough. At the Rams could be tough. At the Packers on Thanksgiving, that'll be tough. At the Texans, maybe could be a challenge. Then the 49ers and at the Browns, that's going to be tough. And at the Jets to wrap up the end of the year, even though they did destroy them earlier on. They have a tough end of the schedule, but just like the last few teams, if they get off to a good start, I could see them potentially, maybe, although not as confident, contend for the number 1 seed. Then the next team that lost was... God dang it, who was it that lost? Oh yeah, the Cowboys. And of course, the Cowgirls always have to have their 5 night games. So let's see if they did. I'll be surprised. I won't be surprised if they get all 6. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Oh, nope. 6. Yep, they got all 6. I'm not surprised. All right, the Cowboys. I could see them having a little bit of a tough start at the Browns and hosting the Ravens. Other than that, I think that's doable. The Lions are going to be very tough. I think they're going to lose to 49ers. I'm not convinced they're going to win that right now. Yeah, they got a little bit of an easier schedule right here coming up. And such. End of the year could be a little bit tough hosting the Buccaneers and at the Eagles. I think the Cowboys are in a good spot to maybe contend for number 1 with the schedule. Alright, then it was the Rams. Alright, let's see what they do, because I think they got a bunch of night games too. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5. I'm not surprised. Gotta milk those Los Angeles teams a lot for their night games. Alright, the Rams, that could be a potential 4-0 start, maybe. I'm not convinced they'll beat the Packers, though. But that's a good start, but it's going to come down to how they face against the Lions and the 49ers. Those should be all winnable games right here coming up next 3. Dolphins will be tough. Eagles could be tough, potentially. The Saints will be a tough challenge. The Bills will be tough. 49ers are going to be tough. Jets, it's a wild card. The last 2 games, though, I think they can win, especially at home. I don't think I would see them getting number 1 seed, but they could still be a wild card contender easily. Alright, then we get to the Steelers, who, of course, we already know got to have their shit ton of night games, even though they're kind of mid. No, they are mid, other than their defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm surprised they only have 4 night games at the moment. Surprising. Alright, so Steelers. The problem with the Steelers is even though they're overrated and mid, they always find a way to win games they should not be doing. So, honestly, most of these games, I have to consider, just automatically say they have a chance to win these, even though I don't think they should. Like, I have to really consider that. Or, like, Falcons, that could be up in the air. Broncos could be up in the air. Chargers, I think, if they don't show up, they can win that. Colts, I don't think they're going to win unless the Colts really implode. Cowboys, I think the Cowboys got that. Raiders, that could go up in the air. Jets could be up in the air. Giants, I think they could win that easily. Commanders, they should be able to win that easily. Ravens, they should win that because the Ravens always struggle against Steelers. The Browns, that's up in the air. It's always alternate. Same goes for the Bengals and such. Yep. I see a wild card spot for the Steelers right now, but... Alright, so then the final wild card team that lost was the Eagles. Alright, let's see what they got. Alright. And of course, 2 night games to start off the year. That is going to be kind of an ugly start for the Eagles. They're going to have a tough start to the year. I think they're going to lose to the Packers. Falcons, that's doable. Saints could be tough. Buccaneers, I think the Buccaneers are going to win that. So that's like a 2-2 start potential. Browns, that is really up in the air. The Giants, that's up in the air too because they smoked their ass last year and almost beat them the first time too. Bengals, I don't think they're going to win that. Yeah, the Eagles are going to have a tough time. They better hope they're 11-6 collapse after being 10-1. It was just a fluke because they have a really tough schedule. I'm not convinced they're going to get number 1 seed. I could see them potentially even missing the playoffs with the schedule, but they can also win it too and do good. It's going to be tough for them. Okay, so I'm trying to think anyone else's schedule I should look at. Maybe I should just grade their night games. Let me check out the Bengals, because I think the Bengals are going to be a really good Super Bowl contender this year with that easy schedule as long as Burrow stays healthy. Because, yeah, the Bengals, like I said, they have a first-place schedule. I could see them starting off at least 6-0. Yes, the Bengals are going to be tough. The Ravens could be tough, but I could see them winning all that. Browns, I think they're going to lose no matter what. They always struggle when they're at the Browns. Eagles, that could be tough, but I could see them winning that. The Ravens could be tough, but I could see them maybe winning that still. Later on near the end of the year, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But yeah, I'm very sold on the Bengals, too. Alright, so... I don't think I want to waste my time doing all this, though. This is probably going to be too much work. Because I kind of want to get back soon on Adam's channel and do some more Mario Kart. So I guess maybe I can, let me go load up my, NFL Project 2. This is where I do my NFL, my season predictions if it loads. I wish it would just load so I could do what I think about how the teams will do. Of course, being very slow as always. Let's see, Ravens. Why are the Ravens all the way down there? Oh, come on, can you please just load Word so I can talk about this stuff. I guess we'll talk about right here then since it's not going to load. Alright, so here's how I think the teams will do right now. Starting off AFC East, of course. The Bills, they're a Super Bowl contender, even though they let go of a lot of people recently. I still think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. Dolphins, I think, are going to be a wild card team right now. I mean, they have the potential to be a number 1 seed Super Bowl contender, but I was very high on them last year to do that, but I'm not as sold on them this year than I was last year. But I can still see them being a playoff contender. Jets, that's going to all come down to not only is Aaron Rodgers going to play, but if he can actually play good too, because if he doesn't play, or if they play, if he doesn't play good, I can see him still being the 7 wins like last year, around average. But if he does play good, I can see him being a playoff team. Patriots, I don't think are going to be good. I think they're going to be near the bottom once again. But if they play good, I could see them being around where they were the last few years, just around mid, like the Jets were. But I don't see a playoff spot potential. AFC North, the Ravens, I can see them being a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to win the division nor get the number 1 seed last year. I don't think they were that good. The Browns, I think I'm a lot more impressed on the Browns, but it's going to come down to their quarterback, and I don't trust their quarterback situation. So I can see them just being a playoff team right now. Steelers, I don't think they should be a playoff contender, but they'll always find a way, so I've got to say they're a playoff contender, even though I see them having a losing record still. Bengals, I think with that easier schedule, I think they're going to leapfrog over the Ravens and get back to the number 1 seed. We're not number 1 seed, but the division win and potential number 1 seed. I'm very sold on them. All right, AFC South. The Texans, I think they're going to win the division, but they're going to have a tough time getting higher than the 4th seed at the moment, and they're going to have the Colts and Jaguars batting out with them for that division lead. But I think right now they're the best chance to get. The Colts, that's not the Colts, the Jaguars are next. I'm not really confident. Of all the teams, the top 3 teams in the AFC South right now, I think I have the Jaguars the least faith in them right now. I see them at the best right now, probably being about where they were last year, 9 wins. Colts, that's going to depend on if Richardson stays healthy. If he could stay healthy, they could be a good contender to clinch the division or get a playoff spot. And their defense got to play better, but I have them a playoff contender at the moment. The Titans, I don't have any faith in them. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. AFC West, the Chiefs, of course, the defending champion. They're going to try and three-peat. Now, of course, they're a Super Bowl contender regardless of how they play, as long as Mahomes is there. And, of course, if they have that elite defense, that's going to be nice, because that offense was not good last year. They better not play terrible like they did last year in terms of offensive performance. And then the next place, Raiders. I have a lot more faith in the Raiders than I did last year. So they could be a potential playoff team. It's just going to depend on if their offense actually shows up. Like the last 2 years, the Raiders, 2022, they had a really good offense, but their defense was horrible. Last year, they had a really good defense, but their offense was horrible. Can you not alternate? I could see them being a playoff contender. Broncos, I don't see much going their way, so I think they're going to regress. And the Chargers, that's going to depend on if they stop doing their choking ways and Herbert stays healthy, because on the one hand, I could see them going over to being a playoff team again. Or they could be about mid or so, like the Broncos and Raiders in terms of 8 wins or so. Like, I could see either way happen, but I do think they're going to do better than they did last year. All right, and then off to the NFC East. So, first off, the Cowboys. I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but I don't think they're going to win it because they keep choking the playoffs. But performance-wise, in the regular season, they are a Super Bowl contender. Eagles, I just see them as a playoff team right now. Probably, honestly, barely getting in unless their defense really shows up. Giants, I see about the same as last year, and the Commanders, I see about the same. I don't think they're going to improve much. Lions, Super Bowl contender, but they have this one team behind them that I think I have more faith in right now, and that's the Packers. I think they have a good chance to maybe leapfrog over the Lions and get the division and potential number 1 seed. I have a lot more faith in them than I do the Lions. The Vikings, I think, are not going to be good this year. I think they're going to be near the bottom, potentially, in the league. And the Bears right now, I think they're going to be about the same right now with Caleb, unless they really show up. But I'm not so sold on that just yet. NFC South, Buccaneers, I think they're going to win the division, but I don't know how they're going to leapfrog over everyone else because the Lions, Cowboys, and 49ers are much better than them. The only thing saving them is at least they can potentially challenge the Lions. But other than that, I don't trust them against the 49ers, and I don't know if I trust them against the Cowboys, especially since they're on the road. But I still think they're going to win the division. The Saints, it's gonna be a up and down year potentially. It's gonna depend on if Carr plays good, but I don't know. I'm not as sold on the Saints as I was last year, but they still could potentially contend for a wild card or division lead. Falcons, I'm more sold on just because of Kirk Cousins. He might do. The Falcons, I think, are just a mid-team, but with Kirk Cousins, I think it's just enough to potentially get a playoff spot or clinch the division. But otherwise, they could still potentially be about mid. I think, 7 wins is the bare minimum, but I think they'll do better than that. The Panthers, I don't see any improvement whatsoever right now. So, probably about 2 to 4 wins. And then finally, the NFC West, the 49ers, Super Bowl contender, I see them being about the same. Rams, a playoff contender, I see them being about the same right now. Seahawks, I'm not sold on right now. I think they're going to regress a bit to get back under 500. And the Cardinals, I don't think there's going to be much change right now. Alright, so, So my predictions for the divisions. Number 1, AFC East, the Bills. AFC North, Bengals. AFC South, Texans. AFC West, Chiefs. Now for the wild card teams, oh boy, that's really tough. Because it's a really tough choice between a lot of these teams. I don't think I can straight up pick 3 of them that I think are going to absolutely get in. I could see potentially the Ravens, Browns, Steelers, Dolphins, Jets, Colts, Jaguars, Raiders, and Chargers potentially being wildcard teams. But I can't pick between the 3 who I think would absolutely would because they're that close between each other. Alright, NFC East, Cowboys, NFC North, Packers, NFC South, Buccaneers, NFC West, 49ers. And for the wildcard teams, I'm definitely going to pick the Lions for one of them. That's a definite fact. I'm going to pick the Rams for the second one. And that last one, I'm kind of torn between the Eagles, the Saints, the Falcons. I'm not sure between those 3 teams. Eagles, Saints, and Falcons. Maybe the Eagles, since I trust their offense more. The Saints, I'm not as trusting. The Falcons, I trust more, but they're still kind of mid. I don't know if Cousins is going to be enough, but I can see the potential being there. Alright. So, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. So, that's my schedule reaction. It feels kind of a little bit like last year, where I thought last year was a good schedule. Although, I think this one might be worse than last year. Because, man, a lot of those Monday night games were kind of trash early on. The middle one, they were really good. Thursday night, they were all over the place. Sunday night was kind of all over the place and such. But either way, I absolutely cannot wait for the season to start. That's going to be insane. September 5th, Ravens at Chiefs. And then, of course, Packers at Eagles, the first game in Brazil. That'll be cool to see between 2 wildcard teams. Yep, September 5th. Cannot get here fast enough. Alright, guys. So, that's, once again, my 9th year in a row reacting to the schedule release. And I cannot wait for the season to start. And, yeah. And, of course, I gotta get back to my, other football stuff. My Madden 22 franchise, which maybe later on tonight I'll try and get back to potentially a bit, since I've been kind of cucked lately at nights. There's my Madden 24 Raiders franchise. I have one episode filmed a week ago. I gotta upload that eventually. I need to film another one soon. And of course, gotta get back to PFA, UFL again, eventually. And DCFL. I already simulated like a month ago the next week 14, I think it was, of DCFL. Week 13, because it's been a year since I covered it. I made the video for week 13 back in March. I simulated week 14 some time ago, and I need to finish the video for that, and I gotta get the 15, 16. I'm gonna get all that uploaded in one go. I'm trying to think, was there another franchise I was doing? Because I think there was, oh yeah, Madden 10, but I don't know if I'm gonna do a video on that because the save file got kind of stuck at the moment or froze, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap it up here. Hope you enjoyed me reacting to the schedule, and then we'll see you all next year for 2025 schedule release, and of course September 5th. Get here faster, please. I cannot wait.